Hello, hello, hello. Happy Tuesday. You are watching SOS, and my name is LaKeesha Hines, and I'm saving our bedrooms one bedroom at a time. I'm saving our sex lives literally one bedroom at a time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for watching. I love it when you jump in early. What's going on, Diana? Thank you so much for waving. So let me wave back at right back at you. Anybody else who is here, please let me know who you are and where you're streaming from so I can shout you out. That is always my joy to be able to do that. Listen, if you have questions, drop them in the chat. Do that. I will answer your questions live. You have comments, definitely drop your comments because I love to interact with you. What's up, Christian? Hey, Mrs. Davis. Lindsay. Hi, Lindsay. Jutta R. I love you. Okay, I see you from Texas. They do everything bigger in Texas. That's what I'm hearing. North Carolina in the house. Thank you all so much again for tuning in. Today's topic, I'm telling you, I don't know if you're ready. If you have children in earshot, you better move them out of the room because this is going to be one of those topics that you really don't want your babies hearing. Okay. And even if you got teens in the house, like y'all don't want to be discussing this or hearing this at the same time together, right? So make sure that you have a quiet space or you got your earbuds in or you're in a room with the door closed because again you don't want the babies to hear this is not PG today, it's R-rated. Okay, so you make sure you prepare for that. What's going on? The Gathering Productions, Thomas and Carolee Wells, UK, that's what's up. So again, thank you all so much for watching. We're going to dive right into our topic today. Today, the title is Coming Together, and it is exactly what you think it is. Remember, this is SOS, right? We're saving our sex lives. So you already know what we're talking about. Okay, so how do we do that? Today, we are talking about mutual, simultaneous orgasm. Yes. Is it possible? Can couples do it? Can you actually have a simultaneous orgasm? The answer is absolutely 100%. Undoubtedly, you most certainly can. So, if you've seen certain things on TV, you don't have to put that in the comments, okay? But it's true that you actually can. And so, for those of you who may not have any idea what I'm talking about, I just want you to know, let's define it first. Simultaneous orgasm is basically when you and your spouse are having sex and you orgasm at exactly the same time or within moments of one another. All right. So that's what it is. And sometimes people will actually confuse that with blended orgasm. That's not the same. Blended orgasm is when you have an orgasm from two separate hot spots and it occurs at the same time. So it might be that you have nipple orgasm and a prostate orgasm, or you have clitoral orgasm and anal orgasm, right? So that's blended, two different hot spots at the same time. That is not what we're talking about. We're talking about simultaneous. So there are two people that are having an orgasm at the same time, okay? And I'm telling you, it is possible. Some people, this isn't their goal. This isn't what they want to do. It's not what they're trying to do. This doesn't motivate them in any way, shape, or form. But for those of you who would like that to happen, I just want to encourage you that it is likely. How likely is it? 89% of couples literally have orgasm at the same time. 37% do more than half of the time. All right. But research actually shows that up to 95% of vulva owners can do and will orgasm at some point in their life. And up to 99% of penis owners can do and will the same. So that means that the percentage of couples who can achieve that simultaneous orgasm is likely higher, right? No matter what your sex, gender, or whatever, right? Is there anything that you can try? Well, yes. How can we make this happen, LaKeesha? You're saying it's possible. How can we make it happen? Well, first and foremost, it all starts with getting to know your own body. I talk about this so much. I've talked about it so many times. So here's the thing. If you don't know what you need to orgasm, how in the heck are you going to have one? You can't, okay? So you must know as an individual how to bring yourself to an orgasm, right? So that means it's time for self-exploration if you have not done so. And what I really, really encourage with couples is mutual masturbation. That is what I encourage couples to do, because I think for sure this is going to help you get in tune with your body. It's going to help your partner get in tune with their own body. And again, this way you will know what it is that you need to get you where you are actually trying to go. And also, one of the things that I love about it too is you actually can have that conversation with your partner, right? To let them know when they're there, right? When you're there. And you need to be able to communicate that. But that mutual masturbation, again, is like your partner can see what you're doing to yourself. Or hopefully you're modeling that for them. You're modeling it for each other. And sometimes you actually may want to guide your partner where you are literally telling them, go here, go there, do this, do that, more of this, less of that, right? So that's a conversation that can happen during your mutual masturbation. So I do encourage this with couples because again, it helps you get to know yourself better, also helps your partner get to know your body better. So I absolutely love it, encourage it, do it. If you haven't done it, do it. Don't leave and do it right now. But when the show is over, if your partner is at the house, go ahead and work it out. Okay. All right. So the second thing that you can do is you can decenter penetrative intercourse. Okay, LaKeesha, what are you talking about? All right, so here's the thing. Most vulva owners cannot orgasm from penetrative sex alone. That is a fact. That is a fact. So, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it's somewhere between 25%, 25 to maybe 35% of women actually can orgasm from penetrative sex. But the rest of the women typically cannot orgasm from that alone. There has to be some mutual stimulation. So you're stimulating some other area of the body while you're engaging in that penetrative sex, or it's just external altogether. Okay. So that means that you have to decenter that penetrative intercourse. That means you got to try some other things. It might be kissing, it might be grinding, it might be groping, it might be manual stimulation. I don't know, maybe cunnilingus. It could be many different things, but you may just need to try something else because that penetrative intercourse is not working for you. And it's okay. There's nothing wrong with you. You are not weird. I'm telling you, 25 to 35% of women cannot orgasm with this penetrative sex alone. So if that is you, I don't want you to feel alone. You're not. There are other women who also suffer from the same issue. And many of them want to, and they can't. So we have to find other ways to make it happen. And there's nothing wrong with that. Okay. The next thing I would encourage you to do is lubricate, lubricate, lubricate. Oh my gosh, this is something else I've talked about multiple times, and it's so important, especially if you're going to be utilizing other orifices. You're going to need to lubricate, okay? And when our bodies begin to change, specifically as women, when we start to go through different changes, hormonal changes, as we mature, our bodies are not the same. So it takes a little longer to get yourself aroused and to get yourself stimulated. And it may take a little while for that natural lubrication to flow. So that means that you need to utilize an external lubrication. And again, nothing wrong with that. You want to do that versus engaging in intercourse and then you're in pain and then something hurts, right? So you need to make sure that you're using that, because the friction that exists can either be pleasurable or painful. You have to have that balance, right? If it's not right, if it's too much or not enough, it can really mess up the pleasure part. And then it can end up being very painful and irritating. And that is not what we're looking for. So we definitely want to make sure that we're lubricating and lubricating and lubricating. Okay. So what's next? What else can you do? Listen, I'm trying to give you all these tips. I'm trying to help y'all out, right? I'm trying to save these sex lives. Okay, now this is one of my favorites. Sync your breath. Okay, what are you talking about? So syncing your breath, if your partner is breathing very heavy and you're not quite at that level yet, then you want to have them bring it down a little bit, or you may want to rise up. Most likely, you want to have them bring it down, because if they're breathing heavy, that means that more than likely they're close to that orgasm stage, right? And you're not there yet if you're not breathing heavy. So you need to slow them down. Also, getting in tune with each other with that breathing, it actually changes everything that's happening. It makes it more spiritual. It makes it a deeper connection, because once you're able to do that, you're more on the same wavelength, which actually can make your orgasming together more achievable. So you do want to sync your breath. And if you are really, really interested in that, and what I'm talking to you about, you want to learn more, there's a book by a Tantra expert. Her name is Barbara Carellas, and she wrote a book called Urban Tantra, Sacred Sex for the 21st Century. Check out that book, see what it does for you. But syncing your breath together actually can make for a deeper connection, a more spiritual connection, get you in tune, get you aligned, get you guys on the same page. All right, listen, we are just scratching the surface, okay? We're going to take a quick break. I don't want you to go anywhere. Do not swipe left. Do not swipe right. Stay right here. We'll be right back. You're watching SOS.
Welcome to the Couples Academy app. The Couples Academy app is your go-to hub for how to do marriage right. Get started with our app today by perusing our amazing features that conveniently allow you to connect. This app is packed with powerful content and resources to help you grow and stay connected. With this app, you can watch our messages, find marriage resources, watch, listen, and read the real-life stories of restored couples, sign up for events, read articles and blog posts, stay up to date with push notifications, share your favorite messages via Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or email, and download messages for offline listening. For more information about the Couples Academy app, go to couplesacademy.org.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Again, you're watching SOS. My name is LaKeesha Hines, and today we're talking about coming together. And I hope you are as excited about this topic as I am. I definitely am. I just wanted to shout out Mrs. Jewel Smith in the house. Hey, Jewel. This is one of my fellow practitioner sisters, and I want to say thank you so much for being here. My sister, Nina, this is like my sister, y'all. So thank you for being here today. Hey, Christian. And thank you all for watching. I just wanted to share this comment. I believe this is Jewel or either Brother G. Unification is extremely important. It's biblical. How can two walk together lest they agree? So the bond is meant to be one. So we must operate as one together. Facts. Thank you for dropping that wisdom for the people. Thank you so much. Hey, Vashawn, what's up, sir? Have not seen you. Thank you so much for watching today. All right, so let's get back into our topic. I was giving you tips and things that you can do, what you need to look out for, right? To ensure that you are able to have that simultaneous orgasm. And so we were talking about the importance of masturbating mutually. We talked about the importance of taking a lot of that focus off of penetrative intercourse and maybe focusing on some outer course and some other things that you can do. We talked about lubrication. We talked about syncing your breath. And so now I want to talk about bringing in a pleasure product. Sometimes that's what you need to do, especially if you've been together a really long time and things are starting to get a little stale in the bedroom. You may need to bring in some pleasure products. And also, if you're having difficulty with arousal, if you're having difficulty maintaining arousal, being stimulated, actually getting to that point where you are about to climax, then you may need to bring in a pleasure product. And there's nothing wrong with that. You and your spouse can take a trip to an adult toy store and ask the people there. They're very knowledgeable about the products. You can ask me also, but they're very knowledgeable there about the products. And, you just try some things, start with one or two things and just try and see if you like it. If you don't, no harm, no foul, right? But if you do, woo! So I'm saying be open, be willing to try. And that could be, there's a myriad of products out there. It seems like almost every other day there's a new product coming out. So definitely do your research, do your homework, and just test it out and see what potentially may work for you. Okay, next thing you can do, count down. Count down. Okay, so I know, a lot of times people think when we're talking about counting down that might literally create a less steamy experience, right? But that's not so. You sometimes really need to time the orgasms, and if you're going to do that, you're going to have to count down. Like you really need to have some concept of how long it takes you from first touch to actual orgasm, and then from the point of arousal to actual orgasm, right? That's important so that everybody has a just mental idea of how long it's going to take them, how much time we need in our encounters, because that's another thing. Sometimes we don't time it right. Sometimes the feeling may hit us, but if I know it takes you, let's just say 15 minutes to reach that level of arousal, and then all we have is 15 minutes, someone may not get they may not get their satisfaction, right? Because maybe that other person needs more time or less time. Either way it goes, you want to have an idea of how long it takes for you from touch to arousal, from arousal to orgasm, so that you make sure you allot enough time for both parties, right? To be able, again, this is about mutual orgasm. So we want to make sure that everybody has the time that they need to get where they need to be so we can get where we're trying to go. Okay. All right. So I think I kind of saved the best for last. And to you all, it may not feel like the best. It may not, because you have heard me say this so many times. If you are a regular viewer of the show, then you know that I say the C word all the time. And today I'm actually saying it 3 times. Communicate, communicate, communicate. This is the most important tip for simultaneous orgasm. If you're not able to communicate what it is that you need to orgasm, and when you're close, then timing your orgasm so that they happen at the same time is going to be impossible. So you can't even operate in that countdown mode. You can't even do that if you don't communicate, right? So you have to talk. Again, trying to understand yourself, then trying to understand your partner, trying to understand each other. It requires communication. Even when, maybe one of you wants to engage and the other person doesn't, you have to communicate. And then, again, everything goes back to communication. What you like, what you don't like, when you want to do it, when you don't want to do it. Talking about that clock. That clock is so important. Everybody has a clock. They got an internal clock of how many days we can go without coming together. So you need to know what your clock is. You need to know what your spouse's clock is, because if yours is a week and your spouse's is 2 days, the math ain't mathing. We having a problem. Okay. So you have to get in alignment with your partner also with what your days are, because if one of you is saying, hey, every 2 to 3 days, we need to be coming together. Okay. then you have to make adjustments. But that requires communication, right? I love that my sister says by learning more about my own pleasure has helped with pleasure with my partner. Absolutely. Like you totally have to make sure that you are in tune and in touch with yourself, because there would be times where, my spouse would ask me about certain things. Um, you know, do you like this? Do you like that? If I don't know, I can't even answer. I can't even respond. So I can't even have a conversation with you and give you maybe what it is that you need to be able to give me what I need if I don't even know what I need. So that's what I'm saying. We have to get in touch with ourselves. Okay, so first of all, let me just say that my boyfriend, my baby daddy, my boo thing, okay, is in the house. My husband, Mr. Willie Hines, you know what? You're a mess. He says I keep a watch on. You see what I'm talking about? This is what I'm talking about. The clock, y'all, the internal clock. He said to keep a watch on. He not lying. He telling the truth. I don't appreciate you putting all the business out here, but it's okay. I love you and thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. But it's true. He really does. But that's what you have to do, right? To make sure that everyone is getting what they need and there's mutual satisfaction in the relationship. So, I'm all about trying to make sure I take care of my ladies. I am all about taking care of my ladies. And one of the things that I must share with you ladies is that the lit is in the clit. If you know how to spell clitoris, then you know that there's a L-I-T in there, lit. So the lit is in the clit. You want to get lit? You want to get everything popping? You want to get things going? It's in the clit for us ladies, okay? So you need to find it. You need to know where it is. And then once you locate it, you need to know what to do with it. Do I need to repeat that? You need to find it. And once you locate it, you need to know exactly what to do with it, because it is a major part of not only that stimulation and arousal, but like it's one of those things that can almost guarantee you almost got a 100% success rate for orgasm when you locate and stimulate the clit. I'm just saying. I think that's my public service announcement for today. So hopefully hopefully you got that. Okay, so some things that you don't need to do, that might actually prevent you from being able to achieve that mutual and that simultaneous orgasm. Do not focus on orgasming simultaneously. Take the pressure off. Take the pressure off. The more you focus on it, the more likely you are to feel that your encounter has failed if it doesn't happen, and that messes with you mentally. So that can create insecurities that will impact you later on. So we don't want to focus on that, right? We want to have a fulfilling sexual experience, and it has little to do with simultaneous orgasms. This is just for the people who are ready to go to another level, right? You want to focus on being in the moment and just enjoying this time of intimacy with your spouse, right? So you want to think of having that simultaneous orgasm as just a bonus. It's like the icing on the cake, but not the end goal, right? Because as long as we're both experiencing something that is pleasurable and it's wonderful and it's good and we're satisfied, it's all good. And if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, take the pressure off, all right? Do not be in a position where you only focus on yourself and do not focus on what makes your partner feel good. It's so important that you go into these encounters with an attitude of service. And that's marriage in general, right? There are many times I'm working with couples and they will confess, and I think I did too, entered into marriage thinking about what I could get versus what I could give. So that's the same way that we have to think about our sexual experiences with our spouses, right? We need to have an attitude of servitude. And so you really have to make sure that you take the time to find out what turns your partner on and what they enjoy. And that can help take the pressure off of you to reach that climax, right? So focusing on your partner literally can be as much as a turn on for you as it is for them. And that can help you to actually orgasm at the same time. So we want to make sure we're not being selfish lovers. That's coming up. That's another topic for another week. So stay tuned because we will talk about that, selfish lovers. All right. And so you do want to be Again, in that place where you're not solely focused on yourself, because you want to be able to synchronize with your partner. You want to tune into your partner's needs. And when you do that, you'll naturally begin to synchronize. So you want to take turns stimulating and pleasing each other. But if you find that you're getting too close to orgasm and your partner isn't there yet, then you must slow down. That's the timing, right? So that's actually easier to do than speeding up an orgasm. We're focused on, oh, let me hurry up and orgasm. Like, that's more difficult than you actually slowing down. So you have to pay attention and listen to your partner's breathing, which that can be a sign of their sexual arousal, which is why I say one of you breathing like really, really heavy and the other one's breathing like normally, then that is usually a telltale sign that they're not where you're at. So you want to make sure that if you're the one that's breathing real, real fast, that you slow down. Okay. And you want to be in sync, right? Because actually what that does is it brings both of you closer to orgasming simultaneously. And also, what message are you sending to your spouse when you do that? When you see that you're turned all the way up and they're not quite there yet, and you slow down and wait for them, what you're saying is, I see you, I hear you, I care about you, I love you, and I want to please you. And I'm thinking of you and I'm considering you. You have no idea what that will do for your partner. I'm just saying, try it. And if I'm wrong, come back and let me know I was wrong. But I know I'm right. I know I'm right. So you want to make sure, again, that you're synchronizing with your partner. And I told you, literally, the lit is in the clip. Remember that. If you don't remember nothing else, remember that. So I just want to say to you all, if you are able and you focus here and you want to, and this is a desire that you have to have that simultaneous orgasm, then it is possible. You can do it. And if it's not your goal and it's not your focus, that's okay. That's cool. Just focus on making sure that you both walk away satisfied and that you experience pleasure when you have your sexual encounters. But achieving that orgasm together can be an intensely rewarding experience. But that doesn't mean that it has to be there to have a fulfilling sexual experience, right? So it's more of a perk or a bonus than the pinnacle that defines success, right? And the more you practice it, the more likely that simultaneous orgasm will become one of the many sexual experiences that you and your partner enjoy together. So again, I need to know. I need to know if you go try this and it works for you. You need to send me a message. You need to let me know. I want to know, because I'm telling you, there's nothing like it. Once that happens, you don't want to go back. You don't want to do anything else different. And you're chasing that high every single time once you have that experience. So you want to make sure you do that. Okay. At least try. At least try. There's nothing wrong with the trying. So, oddly enough, no questions today, and that's cool. But I will say to you all, if you are interested in trying to take your sex life to another level and you need assistance, my ask would be that you reach out and make a discovery call. You reach out and make a discovery call. You can go to couplesacademy.org, couplesacademy.org, and you can see all of our services. You can book a session with me. You can go right onto my page and you can book a session, or you can make that discovery call, 678-200-8996. Again, that's 678-200-8996. And make that discovery call today so I can help save your sex life. Okay, I see a question. Oh, when's the master class on SOS? We don't have a date yet. Thank you for that question. We do not have a date yet, but there is a master class that is coming. And there also may be a 12-week program coming. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. One of the commercials that I showed you, which was to download the Couples Academy app, make sure you do that, because you'll get all information about SOS and any master classes, any programs, everything new that's coming up. You'll be able to have access to that through the app. So make sure you download that app Stay on the website. There's always things going on there. We are having a gala in October. I will be there. My face will be in the place. You need to have your face in the place, and you need to be at my table with me and my husband, because he's going to be there too. So if you go to the website, look up Phoenix Awards. It's our gala that's happening in October. Please, please, please make sure you have your face in the place. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be phenomenal. But anyway, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you all. Enjoy the rest of your day, the rest of your week. I will be right back here next week, same time, Tuesday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And remember, keep it sexy. Y'all have a good day. Bye.